start in about 30 seconds or so. And if anybody has any comments or questions or anything, please feel free to ask Rebecca as she's working, so you won't be interrupting at all. All right, hello everybody. This is Michael Segura coming to you live from Craftex, and the whole gang is here. Cher is here, Marcy's here, Tina's here, Rocky's here, and we are starting our second presentation today with Rebecca Hirschman of Mama Bear Custom Wreaths. Here at Craftex, we are so excited. This is our first annual open house event where we have already had one live demonstration. We're going to have another demonstration right now. We're running a little behind schedule, but that's okay. And in the spirit of Christmas, and in the spirit of Henry Langdale, our founder, and in the spirit of bringing his legacy to life and continuing to bring you the very best in holiday decor, we import the best items from all over the world. We source the world for you, and I want to introduce to you now Rebecca Hirschman.
Hi
Hello.
everyone. Thank you, Mike. Thank you guys. Thanks, Jared, Tina, Rocky, everyone here. So today, hey Rocky. So I'm going to be making a wreath today, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing. I wanted to do kind of a Candyland sweet themed wreath. So I have all of these goodies, some ice cream, some cupcakes, everything all from Craftex. So I have, how big is this? This one's a 30 inch?
30 inch, I believe.
A 30 inch wreath pine base is what I'm going to be using. I kind of squished it already a little bit in, so it's not perfectly round. I just use a little bit of muscle. So it's open.
Why do you do that? What's
the reason why I do it is because I'm going to be using this as my focal point, and I like it to look a little bit elongated and ovalish so that it gives it a little bit more height to it, and it looks, I think it looks better than just round when you have something this big as the center. It doesn't distract from this. And
I'll go ahead and let all of you know that are watching, all of these things that Rebecca is showing you and presenting today are all available online. If you go into our online catalog, there's a direct link on Facebook, or you can just go into craftex.biz and type in Candyland. You should be able to find all of these items.
they're not for consumption. Just want to let you guys know. They're 0 calories, but they're not for consumption. So I'm going to be doing a Deco mesh wreath, which you guys also have awesome Deco mesh. So I'm using the 10-inch group Deco mesh. And I'm going to, before I start, I'm actually going to kind of fluff up my pines, because I'll be using all of these pines to tie in my mesh and all of my embellishments. So we just kind of take our mesh here, squeeze it, and I start on the outside. You can start on the inside, whichever you're more comfortable with, and just start tying it to the actual wreath. And we're gonna do poofs, puffs, poofs.
Poofs or puffs?
Poofs or puffs. Puffs or poofs. However big you guys want to make them. This is Texas. I know everyone says it, go big or go home. So I like to make mine pretty big. Plus our centerpiece is big, so I kind of eyeball it to see about how big I actually want my puffs. So I think about there is good. And I don't measure, I kind of just eyeball it, but I would say that's probably about 10 to 12 inches. And I will tie this to some more pine tines to secure it.
So you're taking your 30-inch wreath and you're sort of extending the width of that now.
Yes,
so
we're making it bigger.
Yes, okay.
Bigger, we can make it. These are pretty popular. People like big, giant wreaths on their doors, especially for Christmas, so I do. I like really big wreaths.
This look could also go for a birthday.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, for a centerpiece. I've done the Candyland stuff for a baby shower also.
Awesome.
So candy's always good, and you can use candy for Halloween too, because we do trick or treat for candy. So the candy stuff is great. I always keep candy at home to eat and to decorate with. So just keep making the poofs around here and just kind of eyeball it to see. It doesn't have to be exactly the same size each one. We're gonna have so much stuff on here that you won't be able to really see this. This is more of a background, just to kind of cover the green.
You get green to cover the green.
That's right. A different shade of green. I didn't bring this, but I always use lotion because these tend to dry out your hands.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah.
All the time.
They can't keep soft hands. So. And just kind of roll in the edges. We don't want the edges out because mesh does tend to fray. Yeah, there we go. Work our way around it. Seeing it over here.
Elon Lou says that she loves what you're doing. She loves to use the evergreen bases year round for all of her design work.
Oh yeah. That's how I like grapevines as well, but evergreens, just you can do so much more with them because there's so many little arms that can hold on to so many different embellishments and ribbon. And of course, if you don't want to make it so big, and I do have customers that have smaller doors or don't want it so big, you can kind of just gauge what size poof you want to make. I usually fast forward this part of my videos because it takes forever.
So I'm going to say you took a 30-inch wreath and it's probably extended now to maybe 36 inches wide now. So it's a lot bigger than what it was already.
It's going to get even bigger.
Yes.
And humongous.
It's going to be bigger than me. Oh, it does.
When we first got Deco mesh, well, the 10-inch Deco mesh, nobody wanted to work with it because none of us really knew
What to do with it? Yeah, Cher is basically. I'm not sure if anybody can hear what Cher is saying, so she's not mic'd here. But she was basically saying that when we first received the Deco mesh here, that we didn't really know how to use it and how to go about just using it in general. But
We just didn't like it.
Exactly.
Because it was foreign.
Yes, it was foreign to us. But yes, this is a great use of. This is a great tutorial for us that work here as designers. So this is actually going to help us as well.
Oh, Deco mesh is so fun. It's so fun.
So I see it looks like you have a method to what you're doing here. You worked on the outer parameter first, and now you're working inward now.
I do, and you can start on the inside first and work out whichever is easier for you. And then on the top version here, on the top layer, one of the top layers, just kind of keep the poofs close enough to cover the green.
Right.
So you're gonna zigzag all over the place.
So I'm looking at it from my angle. It looks like the poofs are probably extended off the base of the table, maybe 10 inches, 10 or 12 inches.
I'm keeping about the same size. So yeah, it's about 10-12 inch poof. And then depending on how close I put it in, how much it jumps up. Now
Right.
I want mine to be big this way
Right,
also.
right. So you like for it to be very dense, it looks like. Yes, okay.
I like it dense, and that's what mesh helps you do, is just make it denser.
Mhm.
So I have boxes and boxes of Deco mesh at home, because you go through this, as you can see,
Right.
you use a lot of it on a design.
Now you mentioned earlier, you said that sometimes it tends to fray. Is that right? Is that something you want it to do? Is that something
You don't. Deco mesh will fray, and you really can't do anything. Some people say to try to burn the edges,
Mhm.
put glue.
Mhm.
I don't think any of that works personally. I mean, you can pray over it, maybe that'll work, but
Over time and weather.
yeah, but you have to kind of just roll it in.
Right, right.
If you roll in your mesh, if it does fray or when it frays,
Mhm.
you won't be able to tell
Okay.
so much.
Well, that's a good hint. That's a very nice tip there.
Yeah, so keep it. And we'll use Deco mesh in a different way also with some other colors, and I'll show you how to keep the rolls from
What color is that you're using? Is that more of a natural color, or does it
I think
have
this is a burlap. I don't know if you guys call it burlap or jute.
They call it natural jute.
natural jute? Okay.
This is usually my go-to, no matter what color I'm making a wreath, because you're not going to see it so much. It really is just to give it volume and to hide some of the pine.
Right.
But you can use, I mean, any color. Especially like for Halloween right now, you can use black. For Christmas, white.
So you said you're wanting to hide the pine. You don't want to see any of the pine in your design.
You can see some of it.
Okay.
It's okay to see some of it. I just don't want it to be overwhelming
Mhm.
and taken away from the theme I have going.
So I see you breaking into another bolt there. Are you? Would you say you're going to consume the entire 2 bolts, or are you going to
I
use
made
part
you
of it?
3.
Oh wow. Okay.
I made you 3.
Okay.
So the pine where I closed the last one, I'm gonna put in the new one and close it,
Mhm.
and we're gonna tuck in the tail underneath the one before. We're gonna put the tail of the last one
Right.
underneath the loop, the new loop we're gonna put in.
So you're not using any cable ties or wire. You're basically just using the pine itself to tie it back into the wreath.
That's why I like these. You have your wreath bases you can do this with as well,
Mhm.
if you don't want to use a pine wreath.
Right.
But you have a lot less arms, so you may need to use like Chanel stems.
Right.
Or with this, you just kind of use wherever you want to put it. You can put it easily. Are you gonna try one of these?
I think I might. Yes.
We need to do a challenge.
Yes.
There we go, a Deco mesh challenge.
Yes.
You can kind of just scoop them out as we're going.
Now tell us about you, Rebecca. How long have you been doing this now?
So wreaths, I've been doing since I was pregnant with my 4-year-old,
Okay.
Nathan. Tina knows, you guys know all my kids here. I almost had one here. Yes. I have contractions here with you guys. I started making mums is how I
Oh
started.
wow. Okay.
So I used to make mums in high school
Mhm.
before Facebook and Instagram and all of that. And I just didn't like the ones that they were selling. I'm like, you know what, I can make mine better, or I can make mine bigger, or, you know, whatever style I wanted to use. And so I started with mums, did that, and then people wanted to buy them from me. So I sold mums. I was like the mum queen of my high school. Then I stopped, you know, did other stuff. When I had my son, I saw wreaths, and it was the same thing. I wanted to make wreaths that were these kind, the Deco mesh, and they don't sell them anywhere.
Mhm.
They only sell the floral ones. So I learned how to make them. I actually joined a lot of wreathing groups that taught me how to make them. In fact, Angel from Holiday Bubbles was one of my teachers.
Right.
Okay, so we finished the second roll. I'm gonna keep going on the inner one here. I don't like personally to see through the wreath. Some people do. If you like to see this is what I'm talking about. If you like to see this part here,
Donut hole.
the donut hole, by all means, don't do this part. I like to cover mine because I like everything to just be covered.
Michael calls that a door badge.
A door badge.
Yes.
When you can't see through it, it's a badge.
That's right. See, double. I'm kind of private, so that would work for me. Can't see if I'm peeking out.
And Henry didn't like them like that either.
Yeah.
That's why we had to keep an open
Right,
hole
right.
in there.
Oh, you like the donut hole?
Yes.
And now we get to have fun.
You're
Yep.
wrong for that.
Breaking the
We
rules.
had a thunderstorm the other day for
Yeah, I know.
And water
Thunder
gushing
share.
for
Oh my
everywhere.
goodness, Cher.
Well, I'm sure I'll get mine.
That was a good one. Oh, Cher, that was good.
So yeah, I think we're good with probably good with 2 rolls.
So you're pretty consistent with the number, with the style and the shape of the poofs. And,
Yes.
Okay. So it's okay to be a little irregular here and there. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, like they're not gonna look this. They're not, and you really don't want it to.
Right.
'Cause then it looks, manufactured, not handmade.
Right. Right. Because I know, like for me, example, I probably obsess on it. I want to get the next one just as close as possible to the other, to the first one I started with. So just be a little bit more freestyle with it.
Yeah, this is, because it doesn't really matter also, because the pines are all over the place, so you don't know if,
Right.
even if you measure it the same, it's not going to end up being the same. Do you measure your ribbon?
I would probably do that. Yes.
I'm a student of chaos.
Oh,
Yes.
no, I don't.
Exactly. Exactly.
So like I said, I'm going to cover my donut hole here. And it goes with the theme that we're doing.
Yeah?
Yeah, have a donut. Okay, so we're almost, so now I'm just going into any empty area and tying it there.
Okay.
It's basically just free. This also, if you cover the center, if you put, like I'm gonna put that bear there, it also helps keep it up. So it does serve a purpose, not just aesthetics. Alright, almost done, guys.
So that's going to be pretty solid coverage in the very middle then, right?
Mm-hmm. For sure. One more and we're done. Do any of you wreath makers do Deco mesh? Yeah. Okay. You do? Okay. So you're familiar with how long this part takes? Yes. Well, I'll show you when I do the other rolls. I just eyeball it, or I just measure from my chin to my belly button. Except when I'm pregnant, then I have to. I have 4 kids, so I'm pregnant a lot.
No more vacations for you.
Yeah, it's always when I go on vacation. I bring back a souvenir.
Ah, great. Okay, yeah, if you could show that again, the very back side, so the front and the back, so we can see how that's covered.
So this is how we covered it. Look at the volume that we're adding to this.
Right.
And this is the back.
So you did use 2 full bolts. Is that what? There was 10 yards on each bolt. Is that
Yeah, I
right?
have very little left on this one.
Right, right. Okay.
Yeah, I go through this. And then I just kind of look and see where I want my top. I want this to be my top. Okay. And like I said, I'm going to put this in the center. But I'm going to put some color. I'm going to add some pop to this. So I'm going to, I have some Snow White. This is really cool that you guys have, sorry. This is a white with a snowdrift.
Oh, wow.
This is really cute. So I like this one. I got this blue one and I got this pink one. So, it's not too frayed. So this is what I meant by measuring. I don't measure, I just kind of go from my chin. Can you see me?
Yes, yes.
From my chin, kind of to my belly button.
So that's probably 24 inches maybe?
Oh, yeah. 17, 18,
Okay, all right.
maybe. And I roll them in. So the edge, remember I told you the mesh phrase? So we want to hide the edges always. So I roll them in on this side. Roll it in on this side. And then we have this. And we just kind of wrinkle it. And you have like a little butterfly.
Okay.
And we're gonna put these throughout here. Now you can put them like this, you can put them sideways. I would keep it uniform, whichever one you're gonna do. I think I'm gonna go like this.
You're just finding a little spot, a little nesting spot to tuck that into.
So I'll show you guys. And I'll use the same where I put the, where I tie the other mesh is where I'll put the same one.
Okay.
That way it doesn't look bulky on you. And then we can do a blue. So this one's a little thinner. I might do this one a little bit longer. The thinner the mesh, the more you gotta use to show the color. I'll put this one on this, the next loop over. So I'll show you guys what it looks like.
Aw, cute.
This one's fraying a bit already, so I'm gonna just cut that off. Just to start with some fresh mesh.
Fresh mesh in a straight line.
Fresh mesh. Say that 3 times really fast. I've done that. Oh, and then don't wear a sweater. It sticks to you.
That's
I've
a good
ruined
tip.
many a sweater.
I bet.
This one here. All right, we're gonna keep doing that around the base. So we could cut a couple, so we're not cutting every single one.
So you're basically just going to create a pattern of sorts, the white, the blue, and the pink, and just repeat that throughout.
That's exactly what I'm doing. I like to keep them, this part I do like to keep them in the same order, but you don't have to.
Okay.
And you can put 2 together.
Oh.
You can put 2 colors together.
Mhm.
Cut some for you. Thank you. I need to come design here more often. You guys cut my design time in half.
We're like your sous chefs.
I see that somebody's asking about the different prices on all these things. After the presentation, there's going to be a link attached, and you should be able to find all these items on our online page at craftex.biz. There's also a direct link on our Facebook page as well.
It does get tangled together. Yeah. eyeball the distance.
Is there an exact number or a poofs that you put? You're just kind of going by, eyeballing it and rolling with it.
Just go with it. That's why these are also hard to duplicate. Because they're just,
Right.
you know, they'll look similar.
Right.
When people ask, can I have that one? Or can you remake it? I'm like, I can make it similar.
Now, for those of us who work in this industry, you know, we often get asked. I know I often do. Why do these things cost so much? You know, and my reply is, you know, not only, you know, do these things have a cost associated with them, you know, think of all the time that we put into building these things. You know, we have to account for our time. So, you know, that's part of the cost there.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Also looking for the supplies,
That's
getting
right,
them.
yes, that's
How
right.
often do I come here?
Yeah, almost every day.
I live here.
That's why you always have the baby, almost have the baby.
Yep. Okay, so now we're gonna go with our top layer. And I'm gonna start here with the pink, just kind of making sure it's not the same color on top of itself.
So you're basically just going to stagger the different colors, so they're not, like you said, they're not sitting right on top of one another.
Exactly.
For a kind of equal distribution of color.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna end up happening just because I'm only using 3 colors.
Right.
But. And the top you use a lot less because it's not as big.
Right.
We're almost to the fun part, guys.
Almost to the fun
Let's get to the fun part.
This is the hand drying part.
I would have somebody do that for me. I would not.
You sound like y'all saying the same thing.
No. Have them pre-done like that.
She don't hear you.
Thank you, Cher.
God, here.
I think we're good for the top with these 4. So we only use 4 for the top. It's not
So you're
bad.
not going to put any in the center in the donut hole portion?
Nope.
Okay.
That's going to be covered anyway.
Okay.
We got enough for another one.
We do, you do.
Yeah.
Get rid of this. Okay, so now, I'll show you what it looks like.
Oh, okay. All right. Very pretty.
That's our base.
Awesome.
Okay, that's pretty by itself. I probably just want to hang that on my door like that.
We're gonna make it bigger. So I like this berry you guys have. Here's the tag. Isn't it?
She's part of our Candyland collection, so she's really popular.
Yeah, I saw her and this is what inspired me to do the rest of the wreath. Just her. So I didn't bring it with me. I normally have an ice pick,
Ah, okay.
but we're gonna get creative and do it differently.
You want one of these here?
Yeah. So do you guys have the white Chanel stems?
Yes, right here.
Oh, awesome. So because she's white,
Because we sell Chanel stems.
awesome. Did not know that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna attach her to the wreath. Because she's white, I'm using white Chanel stems. And I'm going to show you so you guys can see it. I'm gonna go around the bow here so you don't see it. Choke her. You know what? Let's do 2. So let's just make a cross here and tie it together. hide it underneath her bow and tie it to her back. Okay. And then we're going to attach some more chenille stems here to give us length so we can tie it to the actual wreath. And that's how we'll attach her.
Are you going to anchor her down just by the neck or anywhere else on her body?
I'm probably going to do her arms. So do you have a little bit more of these? Yeah, okay, perfect.
There are 100 in a box.
Oh, wow, okay.
I'm not mine.
Okay, oh yes, the chenille stems, I'm being told, come packaged 100 in a box. And I know that doesn't look like you're 100 or so in that box, but
What do you mean?
that's what they are.
No, I was going to see if you guys had that sign. But no, it's fine. I won't have it. Okay, so I think this looks good here. Just try to put it so you guys can see it. That's pretty centered.
Aww.
So I'm going to take my chenille stem and just bury it and tie it around the metal part of the frame. Scratch myself.
Are you just poking straight through the...
Sounds easier than it is, but yes. Okay, so I poke through to the back on this side, and I'm going to poke through the back
She's also putting it
on this side.
on. What is your YouTube channel, by the way? You have a YouTube channel?
I do have a YouTube channel. It's Mama Bear Custom Wreaths. I am trying to learn the editing on it.
Okay.
So my videos look small right now, but I just figured out how to make them full size. So
Okay,
it's,
all right. We learn as we go.
yeah, it's a work in progress. But you know what? I just decided to put my stuff out there already.
Good for you.
Good.
Okay.
Start somewhere.
So now that I have, hold on.
And of course, you're also on Facebook and Instagram.
TikTok.
Okay.
I love TikTok.
Okay.
Me too.
Oh, TikTok is super fun.
Is it all under Mama Bear? or-
Mama Bear Custom Wreaths. I actually have a link tree that you can go on, and I have a website, Mama
Okay.
Bear Custom Wreaths, that you can buy my material. I also my wreaths, and I also am gonna start posting my tutorials there. So just wanted to show you guys in the back. Here's the wreath frame, and I have the chenille stem there, and I'm just gonna tie around the wreath frame to secure it. So I'm gonna squish our bear. Just a little, she'll be fine. If anyone knows CPR, we
She's
can join.
resilient.
Strong bear.
She's a mama bear.
That's right. She's a mama bear. I almost wore my mama bear shirt, but I'm like, that's a bit much. That is actually, bring that up, that is why my name is Mama Bear. So I have me, and then I have 4 little cubs, and that's my 4 kids are my logo.
What do you do if you have another cub?
I have already had to redo my logo twice.
Keep them coming.
Yeah, the designer that does them for me loves me. He's like, within a year you'll have another. You have another design for me to do. Okay, so I'm just going to tie it again to the top just to make sure that this is secured on there. And we can cut this later, the edges later.
So you're basically tying everything down, toggling everything down. I don't see you using any kind of hot glue or...
Not yet.
Okay, all right.
Not yet. We can put, you know what, this is probably secure enough. We could actually glue the back of this so that we don't put, I don't think I like the way it looks with the chenille stem here. So let me just use my trusty little glue gun. It's not so trusty really.
Is that a high heat glue gun? Is that a medium or what?
I use high heat. On styrofoam, I use low heat though, because it will melt it.
Right.
So just kind of glue the back. And we'll just glue him in there. weight. And that will be our centerpiece. So now we get to add all the fun stuff all around it. And I got this ice cream cone. And kind of just play with where we want to put our embellishments. I put the embellishments before I put the ribbon. Just trying out where I think I want it. I think I want a bow over here though. So maybe we'll put a bow here. And I got these ribbons for my bow.
That's gonna be very sweet.
Yes, for sure. So actually, you know what? Let's do the bow first. And then we'll do I know I want the ice cream there.
People love to see bows made.
Do they?
They like to see how everybody does it.
Yeah, we all make them differently. Look how cute this one is.
Do you actually make a bow in your hand, or do you use a bow maker?
I do it by hand.
Yeah, I'm an old florist. I learned how to make bows, a forest bow, years and years and years ago. I probably changed the style of bow that I make a couple of times already. But, I'm curious to see how you're going to do this. So,
Well, I mean, it depends what you're making too, what kind of bow you're going to use. So I'm thinking this one, this is our thicker one. So I'll use this one in the back. And I like to roll my tails so that they don't fray. And I usually put a little bit of glue. Try not to burn myself. I'm used to having these stand up, so it's kind of weird to be at this angle. Okay. So I say my tail. About yay long. And my loop, I eyeball it, but they usually end up being about 8 or 9 inches. Yeah, it's a good size right there. So I took my loop from the back, pinch it, then I take the back of this side. Sorry, I didn't mean to throw your ribbon on the floor.
you know, that's what we do here. Yeah, we're
Okay.
not shy about it. We do it all day long.
Okay. Oh, she's so rude.
No,
Okay.
No, just drop it.
Bring it forward, and then I measure my loops, make sure that they're about the same size. Let's see if I'm gonna do just one here. I think I'm gonna do 4 loops on this one. Same thing, just pinch it from the back. And then do my 4th loop. Measure them.
Carlos, can you please come to the front of the main showroom?
Okay,
Carlos,
so
can
this
you
will be
please
my
come to the
first
front
one.
of the main showroom?
And I'm gonna do the Happy Holidays next. Just put it right on top.
So you're layering your ribbons together.
Mhm.
All right.
Just layer it. Actually, let me cut this so it says Happy Holidays. Yeah, I can. Should have done that first. Just because it has words on it. So we'll do this one the same thing. Pinch it here at the center. Drop it like it's hot. And I will do my second loop a little bit smaller than the pink one.
So you're working from the outside inward, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna pinch it again. Measure them. I think I will just do 2 of this one.
I like the way you've tied that there.
Just a second.
Where you didn't twist it, you kind of rolled it back into itself so all the wording is right side up.
Yeah, that way you can see it matches. And then we'll take our last one, which is our thinner wreath, our thinner ribbon, and the same exact thing. Throw it on the floor.
Whip yourself.
I'll do this one a little bit longer because I'm gonna curl it. The skinnier ribbon I always curl. So I leave the tail a little bit longer. Make my loop shorter than the last one. This is good thick ribbon.
I like that combination. It's very festive. Very cute.
Sweet. Okay, so this is what we have, and we'll still fluff it out some more. Get a zip tie. And we have our center here, just holding it.
We like the zip ties here. They really do save us.
Yes. I
It is a-
used to do them the wrong way all the time.
Right. It's a little tricky sometimes, especially when you're holding the ribbon and trying to tie everything together.
I use clothespins sometimes to help me. Yeah, I did it backwards, I think. No, I didn't.
It's lucky.
It's locked. Okay. And now at the end, I cut my tails. But I also look about how long do I want that side. So we can come back and cut it shorter if we need to. And like I said, I do the short one, the skinnier one longer, so that I can curl it. Start rolling it, kind of give it some love. And we're gonna tie this bow right there. Yeah, the long one.
Are you going to the same area where you tied it off?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
I sometimes will just tie this to the back of the zip tie when I'm tying it.
Right.
Okay, so this is a weird angle for me. Yeah. So now we're gonna tie this to the wreath frame again. One side's in, and the other side isn't.
Are you catching any of the deco mesh, or just going straight through the wreath form itself?
I go through the deco mesh. Whatever is in my way, I'm gonna go through it.
Just bulldoze right through it.
Breathing's not nice. we'll squish it. Don't worry, we can fluff it out. You don't have anything to send. You don't have anything to send.
You got the easel.
Here, use that.
We also have the other green easels.
Can we work off of those?
We have one of the guys for one. One of these. One of these, Rocky. One of the wire easels or the wooden ones? You want one? We have got a
Just to
smaller.
be able to hold. Just to be
Okay,
able to
I
hold
see.
it up.
Okay, yeah, if we have one. The wire.
So I cut this a little too long. But I'm gonna take the top. This is kind of why I want the easel so you can see it. I want the top. I'm just gonna keep rolling it. And I'm going to roll it really tight. Just kind of leave it there.
Like curling your hair.
Mm-hmm, just like that. Without the hairspray. And the good thing about y'all's ribbon, which is why I love y'all's ribbon, it's wired, it's hard, so it pretty much does what you want it to. So you can really control the direction it flows. Okay, just a little bit more.
So are you making just a blunt cut on the ribbon? Or are you doing any kind of dovetail?
I'm doing
or?
a blunt cut on this one. So far
That is so cute.
that's what we have.
What do you think, people? What do you think? You like? Yes? Okay, all right.
So now we can add.
You think you can work out?
Is that too low for the camera?
Oh.
Yeah, it's too low for the camera. Okay, it's okay. We'll make do. So let's add. Can you see what I'm doing?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
You're quite well.
So we can add now some of our goodies, some of our candies, and we're just gonna place these throughout the wreath, or we think they look cute. I like these, are so cute. Yeah, I thought they were styrofoam on the inside.
Oh no.
Okay.
Drew Carson is asking a question about some of the product, and I'm going to say again that all these items that Rebecca is using in her design are all posted online and on our webpage. Go to craftex.com and of course, or I'm sorry, craftex.biz. There's also a direct link on our Facebook page, and if you just type in Candyland, you'll find most of these items there. But we will share a link after this demonstration showcasing all of these items, and you'll be able to find the pricing for all these things.
So I'm gonna add my snow cone right here. And I like this donut back here. So I like to add my embellishments. Since I have different layers, I did the 2 rows or 3 rows of mesh. You now have almost like 3 different heights in your wreath.
Right.
So I like to put these in different heights, different areas in there, just to give it more dimension, more.
I like to say hills and valleys here.
There you go. And let's do a cake over here. And I think we could put another bow right here.
Now, there's no wrong or right way in placing these things into your wreath. You just kind of go for it and just poke them in and glue them down.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Put this one over here. I love these little gumdrops you guys have.
Those are so cute.
take some home.
So this one goes here. We'll put this on. What do you think so far?
Hey, it looks good. It looks great. I love
looking
that. That's
beautiful.
gorgeous. Very nice.
Let's do another small bow, maybe here, with just the pink. Oh, just the pink. This.
I just didn't want you to trip.
No, that's fine. Thank you. And this one, I'm going to leave the tails a little longer, just to make it a little bit, give the wreath more length. And we'll do a smaller bow.
Do you do any kind of tutorials on how to make a bow on your own page?
I should.
Yeah.
I should.
Mhm.
So this one's going to be a wee bit smaller.
Tell you have children.
Wee, wee, wee. Yeah, I don't say I have to go to the restroom. I say I have to go to the potty now. Yeah. My tone also has gone higher.
Oh, absolutely.
When I'm around adults, I forget. So, we have this bow. You know what? Let's go ahead and do all three of them again. This one's a little bit smaller, the loops, like I said, so that it doesn't take too much attention from our centerpiece. So, what do you think, Mike? Do these take too long
Yeah.
compared to the floral ones?
No, I think they're
They're
probably about equal
About
time.
the same time, yeah.
There's a lot of time involved in putting all these things together. Absolutely, yeah. All these handmade things. And
That's why they're expensive.
That's right. You're
Yeah.
paying for the artistry.
Say it again, Michael.
That's right. That's right.
The price is
Say
the
it
price.
The
clearly.
price is the price. That's right. Nobody works for free. We've got to charge for our skills.
And when you got mad skills,
That's good. That's what Cher said. That's
So you've got your main bow, and then you've got your accent bow.
Yeah, and I think the accent one, I'm debating if I'm going to do all three or just these two. What do you guys think? Should I do all three?
yes.
Yeah. Okay. People have spoken.
the people want.
Do you use a lot of ribbon? And
I love it.
Yeah, I'm a.
Craftex is the best.
I
We like
have a
this.
room. It almost looks like a temple to you guys because
Oh,
I have
wow.
all. You've seen it.
I've seen it.
My ribbon.
It's a lot.
I've got a lot of remnants, pieces, yes, of things that I use and I cut. Maybe I'm left with like 2 or 3 yards, or maybe sometimes half a yard, and
I save it all.
I tend not to want to throw things away because I can always make use of it later.
I just got a storage unit because my marriage was in danger. 'Cause
Oh.
I just had too much ribbon and stuff at home. My husband was like, okay,
Yeah, you're not by yourself.
get rid of this.
We need to have a marriage counselor.
A ribbon counselor.
Yeah. Some kind of counselor.
You do. You just get addicted to them. Okay, so we got a small bow. Okay, and then we'll tie here. Thank you, ma'am. And I'm gonna put this one down here at the bottom. Just kind of keep the.
Somebody's asking about the theme, and they're asking if it's baby shower, and it could be baby shower, but this is actually a holiday piece. It's actually a Candyland piece. But definitely, this could be used for a baby shower theme or a birthday. Absolutely.
Yeah, someone this morning, I just sold one that was this color. This color is really popular. People like these pink pastel Christmas. Like I like the red and green also, but it's a little different, but it's super cute, I think. Okay, so we'll try this one. And we'll cut our tails.
Smoothing style.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah, curl it.
We curl ours, but we do it so fast. We're like, we don't smooth it. We make it all smooth and pretty.
It gives it.
We gotta do 300 and plus.
I was watching a lady online a few weeks ago where she was actually using a curling iron to curl her ribbons. Yeah, but okay, it worked for her. So.
Curling.
I
Well,
burned myself.
yeah, but I think she had it on a low temp, but I think that would ruin the ribbon. I don't know.
Like I have scars everywhere from the glue guns.
Me too.
I
We
don't
all
need
do.
more heat.
We all do.
Scars, reading scars. Okay, and
Now you do have this.
my balls. Yeah, I got my balls back there. So let's see. Let's add a little. They're actually pretty good. The garland that you guys have, I'm actually going to cut it apart.
Sure.
Well, that one was
Yeah, we do that too.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I love these glittery ornaments.
They look like gumdrops. They're
They
cute.
do. They match my theme perfectly.
Mhm.
So how can I get this? Just cut them off. And these, I'm just gonna glue. Throughout the wreath.
Yep.
Hot glue.
I love me some glue, yes.
You gotta be generous with the glue.
Especially down here because it's so hot. Like I'm always afraid it's just gonna melt.
Right.
So I kind of,
Now, how do you recommend storing something like this?
the box that it shipped in.
Well, okay, all right.
What if they come to the store and buy it?
Yeah.
Buy a box. Buy a 20, well however big the box is. Just go to a box store and you can cut it and they come already cut where you can fold it down depending on how big it is.
Right.
The boxes are expensive. That's why shipping's expensive also. Yeah, shipping's, the supplies are expensive. The actual cost to ship it.
You want that pretty look.
That's right.
You can come to a place where they have them, and you'll save a lot of money just buying it. We're just gonna add a little bit more ribbon tails, and I think we will be done.
Well, it's looking great. It's precious.
We'll add a green. What do you think? Should we add a green?
There's a big one here. Can do more of that.
Yeah. Perfect. I love this. This is really, this garland is
It's a
super
beautiful
cute.
garland.
I'm thinking all the stuff you can do with
No,
these.
that's my first time seeing it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful garland.
Ah, there's a burn.
Hands are scarred up from me too.
Yeah.
And my legs because I wear shorts.
Yeah. You could also just put this on the wreath itself. That would look super cute.
Catch.
Use my muscles. And I'm just putting it throughout wherever I eyeball it, looking at it. Like I said, I'm a student of chaos. I just like it.
I think all creative people are students of chaos.
Probably. Like I'm also a math person, so I'm like structured in that way. But then my brain also, like when it comes to this, it's just like I throw that out the window. Let's add something up here.
You know, you say you're a math person, but I often find that people that are mathematical people that are engineers and so on and so forth, I've met so many people that have worked in those fields that always use this sort of thing as a creative outlet. I don't know what it is that brings them to this, but it's interesting.
Yeah, I actually, believe it or not, I have a degree in finance, so
wow.
I did all math, and I used to work as a risk analyst for a natural gas trading company.
Right.
So it was nothing but numbers all day.
Right.
And yeah, this is kind of like relaxes me.
Right.
Reading is my therapy.
I've met a couple of architects that do this kind of thing. It's interesting.
Some doctors coming here.
Yes.
It's fun, and then you have something pretty to look at afterwards. Okay, now we could add some ribbon tails throughout our creation here. I just got hot glue on my toe.
I know how it is.
So what I do is I get my tails, kind of pinch it, cut it again. I cut it longer because you can always cut shorter, but you can't go back and grow it. And I'll just attach this to the pine tines just to add more color to it. I mean, the wreath has a lot of color already, but this will just give it a different, this will give it a little bit more pop. And you can dovetail these if you like the dovetail look.
Is that what you call it? Because people call it different names.
Yeah, the little V.
Some people call it fishtail, some people call it dovetail. And what's the other one?
I don't know. You were having a discussion on just that.
I never heard of it. But it makes sense, yeah. They what now?
They cut dovetail differently.
How do you cut them? Do you fold it?
Yeah, I fold it.
Yeah.
And you have to watch out. There's different. If you cut it the wrong way, it makes like a V.
Yeah, I've done that where I've done the stabby.
I used to do it.
Some people cut up,
You get
some people down.
Start going too fast.
Yes.
So you're thinking of like the next thing you're gonna put on the wreath, and then you cut, and you're like, oh crap. So you can add one here. Sometimes I forget when I'm dovetailing to dovetail all of them. And so some will just be like this and some will be dovetailed. So.
Now Tanya is saying that she's an accountant and has been one for over 30 years, and she finds herself breaking designs down to make sure everything is equally distributed.
Oh,
She says it drives her nuts.
She's defeating the purpose. That's funny though. I can see that with an accountant. It's kind of like how your mind just works. And let's add one more ribbon, and I think one more over here. So I didn't end up using everything. Okay.
That's the fun part. You got leftovers. And, I want to give a friendly tip on when you're buying this merchandise to buy a little extra.
Yep.
I'm going to step into the frame for just a second so Cher can take it.
When you're buying merchandise to make a wreath or swag or bows, buy extra. I know that seems like not a good idea, but it really is for several reasons. One being, you never know if you're going to use it or not, or if you need another one or something. And when it comes to the ribbon, you know, next year you might want to make a swag, and then if the company isn't making it anymore, then you don't have it. So if you have an extra bolt of ribbon, just store it away, and then you can always make other things.
And sometimes the dye washes are good too, and they're not always the same color, same shade.
And sometimes you get people that want that wreath and they have double doors.
Right.
So you have to remake it. So funny, you're used to your own scissors, so I feel so weird. Scissors are not mine. Okay guys, I think we're done. Let me just give my ribbon some love here. Cut off this. Drum roll. Dun, 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 dun.
Awesome!
That is so cute.
Love it!
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And this is the back.
They want to take a picture.
Oh, you want to take a picture?
Love it.
So I'm going to step into the frame real quickly, only because I want to remind you, and thank you, of course, obviously, thank you for coming in and being a part of our presentation today and our open house. And I want to remind everybody that later in the afternoon, we'll have another presenter. Amy Smith will be here, so you can always log in back to watch that. So thank you again for bringing your talent to Craftex, and thank you. We
Thank
love
you
it.
for having me. Thank you guys. At 2 o'clock.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. It's beautiful.
Did it? Sorry, I'm going to say. Thank you. Thank you. It's not too heavy either, believe it or not. No.
Awesome. It looks beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Do you want me to scoot forward here so it's not?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. You're still waiting on